I don't think so.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my 7th iteration of my B Raiden Sorcerer, unequivocally the strongest and toughest Raiden we have ever made. As always, I will cover every single facet of the build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now the skills we're using for this build are Flame Rush, and we are not spec'd into Flame Rush, Frost Wall, Flame Ward, Static, Arcane Ascendance, and Lightning Blast, my favorite. And the way you play this is very, very easy. You make a Frost Wall, you Flame Rush through it, which triggers Flame Ward, which gives you boost to survivability and a big boost to damage. Use Arcane Ascendance for single target, but be careful because when you trigger it, you cannot move. And then Lightning Blast just tears up everything. It works very good. It flows really, really well. It's a super fast build, and honestly, it does a ton of damage. We're already done. Let's do another one. All right, and we're off. Lightning Wall. Now our Lightning Wall also makes Lightning Blast, which is great. Arcane Ascendance also does Superconductor, Lightning Blast. We trigger Lightning Blast. It's just such an awesome skill. I probably should have mentioned right now we're at Corruption 220, so we are over 200 Corruption. And we are just walking through this. Exiled Mage, dead. And again, Static, when it has its 200 charges, you are talking 500,000 damage, if not higher. This is already done. Let's fight a Shade of Oribus. Why do I resist? Die, die, die. All right, what are we gonna get? Another Maw. And you are dead. Huh. Another Maw. Of course. Let me show you how to recreate this build. Now let's break down the skills we're using with Raiden, starting with Arcane Ascendance. Now pay attention to the route I take you on the skills, because this is how you should take your nodes. You want to go down first, put 3 into Power Spirit, 1 into Acuity, and 3 into Cunning. Your mana is not going to be drained when you use Arcane Ascendance. This skill is like your Archon mode. This is when you need added damage. This is single target, but remember, you cannot move, so you got to be very careful. You then want to come up 5 into Higher Plane, 5 into Power Overload, 1 into Energy. And then your last 4 points, you want 1 into Superconductor and 3 into Closed Circuit. Moving over to Static, we have it set almost the exact same way as we have our Iron Man build for Rune Master, and you want to go down first. You want 5 into Empower, 3 into Electrify, 1 into Lightning Cleave, and 1 into Surge, then 4 into Overcharge, 4 into Critical Mass, and then 4 into High Voltage. Now, if you want this to hit for 1,000,000 damage like it does in our Iron Man build, you take 1 point out of High Voltage and you put it right here into Power Surge. But just know a fully powered Static is going to cost you 200 mana. If you want to go that route, you can. It is a personal choice. Moving over to Flame Ward. We have Flame Ward decked out into Damage Dealer for this build. This is why we are able to get through the map so quick and kill Shade of Oribus so quick. You want to go down first, 3 into Dilation, 5 into Infusion, 1 into Lightning Ward. This modifies and makes the skill now Lightning. 5 into Through Flames. Then you want to come to the right, 1 into Stalwart Defense, 5 into Barrier, and 2 into Buffer. So you're still going to get some ward, you're still going to get a lot of damage reduction, but really this is going to give you literally double your damage, like a huge buff when you trigger Flame Ward. Our main damage dealer, we are moving over to Lightning Blast. You want to go left first, 2 into Arcing Power, 1 into Closed Circuit. This is going to give you huge crit and damage buffs when you're basically in melee range. You then want to come down, 1 into Storm Razor, 2 into Lightning Attunement. Then you want to come up, 2 into Front Loaded, 3 into Cloud Answer, 5 into Mortal Capacitor, 1 into Final Spark. Then come down, 4 into Overcharge, and 1 into Hypercharge. Now, if you are lucky and you get +2 to Lightning Blast, +3 to Lightning Blast, +4 to Lightning Blast, you want to put all of those extra points right here in front loaded. Last but not least, we are on Frost Wall. You want to come down first, actually. You want 4 into Protection, 3 into Kickoff, and 1 into Prepared Wards. This node is so important. You saw me when I was playing. I would cast Flame Rush, which is our free skill, to go through our wall, which triggers the ward, triggers the damage reduction, triggers the double DPS, and you can just keep doing that over and over again. It is great. 1 point into Runic Conclusion, then you want to come up, 1 point into Biting Limit, 1 point into Crackling Barrier. This is going to make it a lightning wall. Then come to the left, 4 into Lightning Rod, 1 into Charge Pylons, 2 into Currents. This is going to make it where your Frost Wall or your Lightning Wall is going to shoot Lightning Blast. And then your last 3 points right here into Marching Winter. Oh, and I'm sorry, I missed one. When you come down at the beginning, you want to put 1 point into Gate. This is going to cleanse you of all ailments that are on you when you pass through your wall. It's just a great little node where you don't have to worry as much about ailments. Those are the skills. Moving over to the passives. Right now, Raiden is level 98, and we have all the passive points from the campaign. You want in the base tree 2 into Scholar, 8 into Arcanist, 5 into Mage Flurry, and 5 into Knowledge of Destruction. And just know that the magic number on mana is 300. So if you can't hit 300 mana, you can flip-flop these nodes and it'll give you a little bit extra mana, okay? Just based upon where you're at. Now you want to go over to Sorcerer. You want 5 into Momentum, 8 into Essence, 5 into Destruction, 2 into Sarah, 5 into Rift Bolt. This is going to give you Lightning Penetration and Lightning Leech. Amazing node for this build. 8 into Crackling Precision, 5 into Obliteration, lots of spell crit and critical strike chance, and this effect is doubled for lightning skills. Ooh, we like that. 7 into Arcane Insight. Now I needed to put 7 points in this tree somewhere to get us all the way down so I can get 5 into Archmage, which is +10 to base spell damage. So these 7 points you can move around if you want. I basically just took Insight and Intelligence, but again, if you need mana, you can come and put points down here as well. So just know that these 7 are not locked in, or you can move these points down here into Spark, which is going to give you Spark Nova. Okay, these 7 are not locked. Moving over to Rune Master, which we now have access to. 1 point into Unsealed Mana, 8 into Sphere of Protection, 7 into Triumph, 8 into Focus, which is going to give you a lot of Ward and Intelligence, 8 into Never Late, going to give you a lot of base spell and crit, and doubled for mana cost. This is just an amazing node. You need it almost every single time. I've got 6 into Inscribed Instruments because we're using a wand. This is a crit build, so 72% more crit multiplier. And then the last 3 points into Rune of Dilation. These 3 are not locked in, but we are using Flame Rush so often that it's nice that when you come out of it, you have a boost to cast speed and movement speed. And right now, the cooldown on this is 3.5 seconds, so we could almost keep this up the entire time. Those are the passives. Moving over to everyone's favorite gear, starting with idols. Now, the main idol you want to find for this build is right here. Increase lightning damage when you have lightning Aegis, and increase lightning damage. This is doubled if you have over 300 mana. These are going to give you over 100 lightning damage if you have a good rolled one. This one I have right here is giving us 30, which is doubled to 60 plus 65. So you're talking 125 increased lightning damage from this one idol. And it's not perfectly rolled, even though it is a really good roll. And you can have 4 of them. So that is what you are looking for. But in the meantime, if you can't find that, you can always get one of these. Increase critical strike chance with lightning skills, and again, increase lightning damage doubled if you have over max mana, and this is a 3x1, and these are pretty good. You could have 4 of those as well. So those are the idols. Moving over to gear. Like I always say, there's nothing required for these lightning builds, but there is best in slot. Now, the offhand you want for this build is Enigma. This is going to give us huge spark charges on all of our lightning skills. It's an amazing offhand for anything lightning related. And then for survivability, again, we are still using Twisted Heart. I can't get away from it. At one of these days, I'll take the time to run tier 4 Julra and get this to legendary. But these are the two you want from a unique perspective, but technically not required. For a lot of time, I was using Stormcarved Testament in this spot, which I do think gives you more damage, but survivability wise, I like Twisted Heart. Now I'm going to go through each item individually so you could check out what I currently have. Helmet, amulet, armor, wand, ring, belt, ring, boots, and gloves. Those are the gear. Now let's break down the character stats for Raiden. Like I said, level 98, intelligence 58, vitality 15, movement speed 33. Resistances, fire, lightning, and void, we are solid. The other four need a little bit of work, but they're not zero. They are headed in the right direction. Armor 743, 29%, ward retention 250. Endurance percent is almost there at 58%. Threshold 548, critical strike avoidance 89. Now, when you look at our damage numbers, just their native numbers, spell crit chance is 30, and increased lightning is 546. Now, I want you to focus on spell crit chance and lightning damage while I hit these training dummies. Now, when I hit them, the lightning blast is hitting, then reflecting back onto you, boosting your spell critical strike chance and your damage. You will see right now, we're now over 50% crit chance and over 800, almost pushing 900 damage on the lightning. This is just Lightning Blast, a free to cast skill. Now, when we add into this Frost Wall, which is going to give us almost double a damage boost, and Archon mode, which is our Arcane Ascendancy, now check out the damage numbers. Ready? And then you hit them with static. 500,000. Crazy damage. Now let's talk sustain. Aaron, this is great. How do I stay alive in endgame? That is a good question. We're going to start off with our skills and Flame Ward. Now, obviously, you're going to get a burst of ward when this skill is triggered, and you're going to get a ton of damage reduction from barrier and buffer, these two nodes right here. And this is literally going off every single time you go through a frost wall. On top of that, in frost wall, we have 4 points into crystals of protection, which is going to give you 120 up to 240 ward every single time you go through it. And we're going to be able to cleanse ailments. Now, that is just your skills. When you look at your passives inside of Rune Master, you've got Sphere of Protection, which is additional damage reduction you are going to get. And right here on Arcane Focus, you are going to get ward every time you directly cast a spell. But the main item, of course, Twisted Heart, is what is going to keep you alive. And this is 11% of current health converted to ward when you directly cast an elemental spell, which we are doing a lot the entire time you are playing. Now, this mixed with going through your frost walls and triggering Flame Rush keeps you right around 4,000 ward. And the last little part that is ultra important is inside of the end of time. You need to make sure in the Black Sun you get this blessing, Grand Hunger of the Void. This can roll as high as 3.1 to 5% spell damage leached as health. If you do not have this blessing, you are for sure going to need to use Bleeding Heart, but this blessing is also going to help keep you alive. Last but not least, let's talk leveling. Aaron, how do I take this from level 1 to what I see on screen right now? What a good question. First skill you want to take is Elemental Nova, and you want to take this in its lightning conversion. So you want to take this top tree right here and then go straight up and grab Arcania. Okay. Second skill you want to take is Teleport. Why? Because Teleport's going to be your movement skill, and it can auto trigger 3 Elemental Novas, which is great. Which means as you're flying through the campaign, you're not just skipping enemies, you are killing them as you are teleporting. And the last skill you want to take is Frostclaw, our newcomer, but you want to take it in its electric conversion. So you want to come up and grab this node right here, Spark Artillery. This is going to make Frostclaw cold to lightning. And then you want to put 3 points into Gift of Winter. And then come over here. You can put an additional point in Frozen Rain, which is going to get your Frostclaw almost free. Okay, but this should be really the only thing you're spending mana on. On top of that, you want to spec into Flame Ward on your bar to give you some survivability, even though you're not actually spec'd into your skill, just leave it on your bar. And then the other skill you want to put on your bar is Focus. Anytime you run out of mana, you can channel Focus and it'll fill up your bar. Elemental Nova, Frostclaw, and Teleport will get you all the way to Endgame. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my new refreshed Raiden? Is there something I missed? Is there something I could do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I've earned it. And if I haven't earned it, I'm gonna work harder for you. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 83 members that have signed up. I get asked all the time, what's the best way to support? And Patreon is it. You get the most benefits as well. You get access to the bonus hour of the podcast. You get access to the VIP lounge in Discord. You're going to be getting new discounts for my new merch store. You get the ability to live stream with me, audio and video. It is just the most value when it comes to support. Patreon, first link in the description. That's all I've got. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.